Hello, friends. We are here doing a live video, we think. We did this once before.
Yeah,
it worked, and I
right.
think so. We'll see if it's working. If not, we'll just talk to ourselves because we're good at that too. If you've been following along, you know that for the last 2 days, we have had lots and lots of doctor's appointments, 8 doctor's appointments actually in the last 2 days. And I'm going to talk slowly for a second because a lot of people are hopping on. So I'm just going to, while I wait for them to hop on, I think we should point out Sean's shirt because it's amazing. It's from a good friend of ours who we have lost in the last few months. And so Sean wears that shirt proudly. Yeah, so as you all know, since you've been following this whole thing, that we, in January, Sean got the diagnosis of the throat cancer, that it was inoperable. And then we went back and forth to Mayo, all the things, and ended up doing radiation and chemo for 35 days, which is where most of you joined us, is in that piece. And we are at this point 6 weeks post chemo and radiation, which is pretty amazing, but also to think about the fact that like since January, we have been almost daily working on going to doctors and dealing with all of this stuff. And so in the last 2 days, yesterday and today, we had 8, count them, 8 doctor's appointments. Yep, with all the people. That included a trip to the ENT, a trip to the radiation oncologist, and a CT scan, among other things. So the ENT and the radiation oncologist both did a scope, which is where they stick a camera up Sean's nose and down his throat to get a look. And both of them saw no signs of cancer in his throat when they looked visually. And then we found out today that the CT scan, the 6-week CT scan, was also clear. So we spent so much time and energy and focus trying to get Sean to stay alive through the 6 weeks. That sometimes I'll at least speak for myself that it was a little bit like I didn't even think about if it was working. I just wanted it to not kill him. And then we got to the place where we thought, like, did it actually work? Right. And so today was the day that we found out that it did actually work. It did what it was supposed to do. It got all that cancer. In 6 weeks, we'll do another PET scan, but they felt really confident and good today about all the things that they saw, and that it not only didn't kill him, but it actually killed cancer the way it was supposed to. So it's a good day here for the Braniers. Our sign together is a beautiful place to be behind us, and Sean's shirt are sort of just a couple other things, but anything you want to say?
Yeah, when we saw our radiation doctor today, and after he did the scope and told us about the CT, I just, was so grateful that he was our radiation oncologist, a wonderful, wonderful human. And also I told him that no matter what happens a month from now, a year from now, 6 months, whenever, today you cured me of this cancer that many people, including doctors, thought we couldn't even proceed with the radiation, thought that I wouldn't even make it through the radiation. And so that in and of itself for me is enough, is a win, is for the Fanconi anemia community. It's very big, as the statistics are so small, and there aren't, and the outcomes of people even surviving the radiation is so bleak. I am I'm glad that I went through with it, and blessed beyond measure that I am a new data point and a positive statistic of those with Fanconi anemia who survived full dose radiation and chemotherapy. I think our community right now, this is one of the biggest challenges we face at this point. Is how to what's the protocol for head and neck cancers, especially when they're inoperable. And I just want to say I survived. So that in and of itself is a lot, provides me with a lot of hope. I hope it provides the community with some hope. That's kind of what we live on, hope. And we live on your love. All these comments coming through. We live on your generosity. We live on your prayers. We live. This community is really the gift of the whole thing. Living or not living, the fact that we have this community that's gathered around us has been a blessing beyond measure. So
thank you to all of you. I am trying to figure out how at some point to capture all of the creative ways that you all supported us with just all the ways in these last 4 months. And so we just feel so well supported by all of you. And we're tired because this has been a really long haul and we're not quite done yet, but we got through it because of all of you and because of the support that you gave all of us. So thank you for loving us so beautifully and for being just really models for what it looks like to take care of people who are having hard times. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
No.
you. I have a closing statement.
Please,
but
go ahead.
If you are going to close
I would like you to have
after
a
my
closing
closing statement, it would be a little awkward. Okay.
No, you.
So I today has been such a mixed day for me. I mean, it's been exhausting and it's been hard. It's been hard. I think people who've gone through a lot of chronic illness of any kind, when you're sitting with a diagnosis like cancer and you're just living in it and waiting to survive it, to get news that it's gone is mixed emotions. You don't realize how much you're holding it in, holding it together, just surviving. And when that release comes, it comes out in every different way. And there's no right or wrong way. I think Allison was much more excited to hear the news. I was just exhausted. And somewhat sad. I think just a deep release of emotion that I didn't realize was hiding there. And as I was reflecting on that today, I was reminded of one of my favorite, a poem by one of my favorite poets. And some of you may know her. Her name's Sarah Teasdale, and she was a poet in the early 20th century. And this is actually a poem that I've heard a choral arrangement by my alma mater and at Luther College in the Nordic Choir. And this poem, I think, really speaks to me, especially tonight. And so maybe we can kind of end. This is a poem and a prayer, and how I feel tonight being with Allison and being with Maya, our little family of 3. So I'd like to share this now. How can our minds and bodies be grateful enough that we have spent here in this generous room, we 3, this evening of content. Each one of us has walked through storm and fled the wolves along the road. But here the hearth is wide and warm, and for this shelter and this light, accept, O Lord, our thanks tonight. So thank you all for continuing to bless us every day. I ask that you continue to pray for us as we know that this is but a moment in a longer journey, with more unknowns, uncertainties up ahead. But every time we hear your comments and your love and know you're praying for us and thinking about us, that's everything. That's it. That's the secret to life right there. Love. So I love you all, and hope we have continued good news for a long time to come.
Yeah.
Who knows? So thank you.
Thank you. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.